The Chicago River winding its way through the heart of the Windy City. Our sight tonight. Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Hi, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan, and joining us tonight, Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. And reporting from the sidelines, our very own David Aldridge. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Brooklyn, they've got the #1 record in the conference, and because of it, each night out, their competition is going to bring it right at them. And, of course, there's the Bulls. They're looking to turn it around down at the bottom of the conference now.
And right now for Brooklyn, they've been a revelation here in the early going. Some people, including myself, had doubts about their plan coming into the season, but no question it's working.
You know what, Greg? It just looks to...
And nothing tips off.
Well, Kyrie Irving rediscovered his maternal lineage with the White Mountain family of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe. He lost his mother at a young age, and by connecting with her roots, he's found a piece of himself. The tribe gave him the name Little Mountain. Kevin?
Great story, DA. Thank you. Well, Doris, early on, every team trying to establish a winning attitude. And now you find out if that can carry through the rigors of an entire regular season.
No doubt, Kevin. I think if you can establish some winning early, that can go a long way toward building momentum, building confidence, especially if you have a young team or if you're a veteran team who has aspirations to be champions. So much at stake early.
Good point. So the next starting five. Irving and LeVert are at the 1 and 2. Allen is out there with DeAndre Jordan. And it's Durant in at the 3 slot. And for Chicago, Young and Carter are the big men in. Chicago, Felicia's checked in for Young. Valentine comes in for Otto Porter Jr. and the great subbed in for White. The Nets also changing it up. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Jordan. Taurean Prince comes in for Kevin Durant. And Harris subbed in for Karis LeVert. A nice shot by Irving.
He is now 3 for 4 to start this game. Clearly, the confidence is already building.
Here's the great. 14 points from him the last game against Milwaukee. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Jared Allen.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Chicago shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, think about the Nets' Kenny Atkinson, a finalist last season for NBA Coach of the Year. This young coach got a well-deserved contract extension. And what I love is his team competes at a high level every night.
Murray's checked in for the Bulls. Satoransky comes in for Zach LaVine. And good on the second, so he makes them both. And Doris, you think about how hard this Brooklyn team competes. I think they take right after their head coach.
I don't think there's any doubt, Kevin. Coach Atkinson is still willing to get on the court and jump into drills with his players. Let's remember, going back to the early days of his career, he was a player development coach. And before that, yes, he even played. That effort and willingness to break a sweat very much reflected in his group.
Here's the great, guarded by Harris, and he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
One of the things I love about the Brooklyn Nets is the culture that's being created with this franchise. They are punching above their weight. There's no quit in this team. There is so much to like.
And Doris, you talk about the resilience of this Nets team. How about their 25-point fourth quarter comeback last season against Sacramento?
Kev, they become only the fourth team to overcome that big a deficit in the shot clock era. This Nets
up going with the new group. And then for Brooklyn, DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Chandler. Kevin Durant comes in for Taurean Prince. And it's LeVert in for Irving. Young and Carter are the big men inside. White is out there with the great, and it's Levine in at the small forward. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. And here's LeVert. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Nuggets in Denver. Here's Allen. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, think about Mr. Jared Allen. He was not the first family member to get picked in the NBA draft. Let's remember his dad taken by Dallas in the famous 1985 draft. His dad, however, would go on to have a playing career in Europe.
Here's the great LeVert defending and contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on Jared Allen, and Coach Jim Boylan agreeing to a multi-year extension with the Bulls this summer, Greg.
And taking that interim tag off his title as head coach, Boylan, with over 30 years of coaching experience, afforded the opportunity to continue developing this young core.
Prince is checked in for Brooklyn. Doris, you graduated as your college's all-time assist leader. Talk about some of the key traits of a great playmaker.
I think historically speaking, when we think about great lead guards, Kevin, we talk about unselfishness, vision, patience. Who are the players that make their teammates better? But probably the one underrated aspect of a point guard to me, Kevin, is communication. Are you constantly looking for opportunities to communicate to your teammates, make them feel good about themselves, give them confidence? That, to me, is probably the most underrated aspect of it.
And Doris, when you played, you took such great pride in each and every one of those things.
I did. I love trying to make my teammates better. It feels great to make somebody feel good.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kenny Atkinson, who's a native of Long Island, now has his dream job, coaching the Brooklyn Nets. He doesn't need praise or recognition. Instead, he's fueled by the fear of failure. He says, I always feel like I'm one banana peel away from never being in the NBA again. Kevin, he's got his team playing with that same determination.
David, he sure does. Thank you very much. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
When you think that this guy was so raw and so skinny coming into the league, now DeAndre Jordan brushing off these challenges with ease.
Here's the great. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts. Well, we've seen Shea in more than a handful of games so far now. There's a lot to like about what he's been able to accomplish since getting the chance.
Really, you just have to wonder why the team didn't find more minutes earlier on. It's been clear with how he has come in and had an instant impact that he'll be a factor in this league.
White the pass to the great. With the teardrop and stolen by Jordan. White against Prince, stolen by Levine. White the pass to Carter. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
Hey guys, this is the way to stay in the game. They're doing a masterful job from the line. Perfect this quarter.
And you look at Wendell Carter Jr., the center out of Duke. Fantastic blend of size and mobility. A lot to like about what he can do.
And that one falls for credit. And with Wendell Carter Jr., we saw flashes of his potential last season.
Easy to see why he was a snap pick at 7 for the Bulls back in 2018. As he gets more comfortable in his role and his teammates lean on him, he could be a force.
Odions Kurucs, he's checked in for Joe Harris.
This is what makes him a challenge to stop. He will beat you from the floor, and he can also beat you from the line.
And the call will go against the great. That's his third foul of the game.
And that's the tough part of trying to keep him on the floor. Now he picks up that third foul.
Ryan Arcidiacono now checked in for White. LeVert gets in and hoping this is the start of a new trend. Shooting great now from the field.
And there's a deceptive strength to the lean frame of Caris LeVert, showing tremendous strength on his way to a tough finish.
Here's the great. He's got 9. Rebounded by the Nets. Jordan's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Here's the great. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Second shot opportunity. That one rolling around and rims out. Last game for Brooklyn, they picked up the W against the Nuggets in Denver. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Chicago called for the foul.
Well, you love how Durant goes into the contact. This guy is always looking for an opportunity to get to the foul line.
The Nets have been at their finest 4 at the free throw line tonight. 8 attempts, 8 makes.
And when you got a team percentage of about 81%, you're going to be one of the elites in this league.
The Nets making a switch here. Irving's checked in.
Well, DeAndre Jordan remains one of the best rebounders in the NBA. His ability to dominate the glass and get you extra possessions, just a thing of beauty.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Now here's Irving, guarded close and good that time.
Well, this guy has been efficient and effective all night. That IQ has been on display.
And with DeAndre Jordan, the rebounding is as strong as ever, Doris. But what about the rim protection?
Well, I think obviously DeAndre's block totals aren't what they used to be when he was turning away 2 shots a game. But there's more to defense than just blocking shots. And Jordan remains a plus defender.
Kurucs was the 40th pick and wasn't expected to contribute, Greg, in year 1. But his strong play as a rookie has helped rescue a Nets team that was teetering on the brink with the loss of Caris LeVert.
You know, they had guys who could shoot and they had guys who could defend, but no one who could do both. Kurucs can hit open threes, and with that 7'2" wingspan, a factor defensively.
He hits the second from the line. And second-round pick Kurucs ended up starting most of last season for the Nets as a rookie.
Well, think about it. Back in Europe, this guy was playing limited minutes for Barcelona. Some said they were trying to hide him from NBA scouts. But there is no question he is on everyone's radar now, Kev.
And you look at the cast-offs that have found success in Brooklyn, Doris, a great part of the Nets story.
And I think what the players appreciate is the team that gave them their first real shot to play significant minutes. That buy-in and urge to prove themselves a part of what makes their culture special.
The first one falls. So he gets them both.
Well, this guy has multiple ways to get to the free throw line, and boy, has his stroke been on the money.
Irving dishes to Prince. 41 seconds left to play here in the half.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
This is his first free throw of the game.
At the line of net, Torian Prince. Taking 2 shots. 2 shots.
No good on that one.
I think the thing I like best about Otto Porter, his versatility and long arms, because it allows him to impact the game in so many ways.
And he sinks the second. That'll do it for the first half. It's the Nets. They lead by 13. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks a lot. Kyrie, what were you all focusing on coming into the game tonight?
I come out with a intense focus and intensity that other teams can't match. Just doing whatever it takes to keep our tempo. Guys are in a great rhythm when we have a great tempo. So just trying to get everybody involved and do whatever it takes to win.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You look at Kyrie Irving in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, he's just been raining down on him from deep here. Talk about dialed in.
Well, the break certainly didn't have a cooling effect on him at all. He's in a great rhythm, looking comfortable and confident.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. Setting the floor for the Nets. LeVert and Durant out on the perimeter. Taurean Prince is out there with Wilson Chandler, and it's Irving at the point guard. Well, it's such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time and changes. Felicia's checked in for Carter. Murray comes in for Thaddeus Young. And the great subbed in for White. And then for Brooklyn, Wilson Chandler's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Taurean Prince comes in for Kevin Durant. And Joe Harris is subbed in for Karis LeVert.
Boy, a wide open shot from his favorite spot. That is one he'd like to have back.
Next foul, Taurean Prince. That's his first personal foul. The great. At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Of course, here's something kind of interesting. There's been a lot of talk about moving the draft to after free agency. What would that look like?
Well, I think talent is always going to be at a premium. So I would think if there's a guy that's the absolute definitive #1 pick, he's going #1 regardless of roster construction. But the reality is it might help those teams who maybe if they know who's on the roster, it might change the kind of draft selections they would make. So it's an interesting supposition. We'll see if the NBA moves in that direction.
That free throw, no good. Well, a lot of rough times for Irving in his final year with the Celtics. Opted out, and obviously Greg wanted a change.
And quickly zeroed in on Brooklyn as a destination. His time in Boston had clearly come to an end by the finale of last season. now joins up with a new stack team in Brooklyn.
And that trip coming up empty, missing both.
Well, this guy, Kyrie Irving, just so reminiscent of his idol, Kobe Bryant.
Oh!
My goodness. Body control, flair for the dramatic, Levine in style.
Knocked loose. Here's the great. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And the latest I heard with Che is that he's cut a deal to be a rep for Gatorade. Very high honor for a brand that has long been associated with our league.
You said it well, GA. Gatorade doesn't really just hand out endorsement deals either. They must really love the upside that Che has shown to give him a deal this early in his career. Wow, impressive. A free throw off from the great.
Boy, picking Jared Allen, number 22, back in 2017 has paid off for the Nets. This guy has proven already in his early 20s to be an NBA caliber starting center.
Prince misses.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take it back.
And Chandler sends it back. Porter passes to the great. To the inside, Felicio kicks to Valentine. Clock at 4. From deep, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. And let's see what the Nets have coming up. On Monday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Indiana Pacers. Then on Wednesday, they'll host the Charlotte Hornets.
And you know, for that Knicks game, on paper, you'd expect them to come away with the win, but this might be one of those trap games where they let it get away from them if they aren't focused.
And Jared Allen grew up in the Austin area and played near his home at the University of Texas.
Yeah, Kev, just one season with the Longhorns. He really came into the league considered a project, but boy, his development is truly ahead of schedule.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, there's not a lot of NBA players who come from Finland. Now there's Lauri Markkanen. Before him, there was Hanno Matala, who was actually Lauri's high school coach. Markkanen is soft-spoken and family-focused, but he says everything starts from basketball. All the decisions I make are based on if it helps me on the basketball court. Kevin?
Terrific attitude. David, thanks. And the first one drops. Antonio Blakeney's checked in for Chicago. Satoransky comes in for Levine. And the Nets making a change here as well. Caruth is checked in for Kyrie Irving. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
And they have built their advantage on the scoreboard here by doing all the little things.
Boy, defense nowhere to be found, and neither was his shot at that time.
Here's the great. He's guarded by Chandler. Blakeney passes to Satoransky. Here's the great. He's got 15. Shoots from the right block. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. And here's a look at some numbers for Irving.
And something has really clicked for him at the free throw line. In the past 5 games, his percentage at the line is much better than it had been prior. Sometimes that's how it works. A switch flips, and all of a sudden, you're locked in.
And at 6'6", Joe Harris has been asked to play a lot of minutes at that small forward position. Doris, do you think that's his natural spot?
Well, I think he's gotten pretty good in terms of his strength, if not the length of the 3 spot. He's worked really hard defensively to get better and better. And offense, though, that's where he's going to make his money. He can make shots consistently. Well, exposing a weakness in the defense, that's just way too easy, guys.
Prince, the pass to Harris. And again, it's the Nets missing.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Here's the great, guarded by Harris. Inside, it's tipped. It's stolen by Harris. Here's Karuch, poked away. Pass to Harris. Lets it go from 14. Good on the bucket. Harris has got 4 points this quarter.
Well, how about the mid-range game? Joe Harris knows they're going to run him off the three-point line, so he's showing you what else he has.
Here's the great. He's got 15. And the dunk by Chandler.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Doris, this game always evolving. Fascinating to see the players who drive that change with their unique talents find a way to do things different.
Well, probably two guys currently that have revolutionized the way the game is played. Stephen Curry, with the incredible range he has on his three-point shooting. You've got to guard him as soon as he crosses the half-court line. And honestly, if the goal would be good from the other side of the half-court, he'd probably push it to out there. And James Harden, so prolific at drawing fouls. It might be maddening to the fans of opposing teams, but James Harden has led the NBA or been at the top of the free throw attempts list for years now.
Great example.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
A nice shot by Harris.
I think it might surprise people that Joe Harris does not mind contact on the interior. That's a nice shot. Wow.
Passes to Blakeney. 1:04 left in the third quarter. Here's the great. He's guarded by Chandler. Just 5 to shoot. Satoransky the pass to the great. Chandler outside. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
An 85% mark from the line. There aren't too many players in the league who are going to sport a much better percentage.
Bulls making a switch here. Arcidiakono's checked in. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Jordan, he's checked in for Prince. Free throw good, Wilson Chandler. 46 seconds left to play here in the third. Pass to Satoransky. Here's Blake.
Reset.
Going with an almost entirely new group here. Wendell Carter, he's checked in for Valentine. Porter comes in for Antonio Blakeney. The greats checked in for Satoransky. And it's White in for Ryan Arcidiakono. Then for the Nets, Kevin Durant comes in for Jordan. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for Rodion Kurucs. And we've seen more face-up play at the power forward position these days, Doris. That works in favor of guys like Thaddeus Young.
Well, he is someone, Kevin, who has always thrived on quickness, his ability to drive and finish at the rim. He has developed his outside shot. This young man has paid a price to try to be more effective.
And small forward and power forward, Porter and Young. The great out there with White. And it's Carter in at the center position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. He's off on the first. Well, at 6'7", Doris, Karis LeVert describing himself as a point/shooting guard.
Well, why not? Because his slashing ability, his blinding speed off the dribble is really what makes him problematic. His burst is special, and it doesn't matter if he's going left or right.
David Nwaba is checked in for the Nets. And he's good on the second.
Well, think back to Karis LeVert's career at Michigan. It was marred by 3 foot surgeries in just 22 months. And obviously, the medical red flags caused his draft stock to dip. But credit the Nets, who picked him up with the 20th pick back in 2016.
Here's the great trying to get open as Carter. No good from the great. Brooklyn leading by 9. Irving from long range. The rebound by Young.
And you know what? If you're the defense, you got him right where you want him. Let him keep shooting those threes because he's been brutal in this half.
Now that slender frame sometimes lets Porter slip right through the cracks and get to the rim.
And the ankle injury for LeVert last season, more of a freak accident.
Yeah, Kevin, you think about it, he comes down on top of another player. It ends up costing him 3 months. But even through these tough injuries, what we know, Karis LeVert has shown when healthy, he can be special.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question, Greg. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set.
Wilson Chandler's checked in for David Nwaba.
And they're picking up a lot of fouls already in the penalty. Not a good sign. They need to focus on moving their feet and maintaining a good defensive position.
Presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kevin Durant.
Plain and simple, his scoring is what made him our pick tonight. Even when the D's given him all their attention, they just have not been able to contain him. If they backed off him for 1 second, he made them pay.
He's really seemed to feed off the hostile environment he's been faced with tonight. Thaddeus Young on the wing. Now the feed to Carter. Durant with some nice deep.
Boy, that's one he wishes he could have back, especially against soft defense.
Irving dishes to Durant.
Irving against White. Now the pass to LeVert. And he dunks it down.
How about that authority from Mr. Karis LeVert? Go ahead, sir.
And here's White. He'll bring it up for the Bulls. 9-point game. Here's the great. That shot off the mark. Nice defense from KD. And stolen by White. And here comes White, leading the fast break. A second chance effort. And Durant sends it back.
Kevin Durant uses his length so well. And how about the timing to send that rejection back?
White against Irving. Yep, that one goes in there. Irving's got 4 this quarter.
Well, what a move from Kyrie to keep the defenders guessing as he moves in for the score.
To the paint. Here's Young. Rebounded by the Nets. KD's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Irving with a clean look. And it's White with the rebound. White's got 6 rebounds in the game. Passes it to the great. To the middle. Durant with the steal. Oh, and a fast break for the Nets. KD's got the ball. Goes back up. He takes it up and lays it in. KD's got 12 points in just the second half.
Well, how about the persistence of KD? He knows he has the size and the reach to keep those possessions alive.
Here's the great. Just 5 on the clock. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. That one on Jim.
Fourth team foul. The great. At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
Gets the first, and that brings them to within 10. Garrett Temple has checked in for Harris. Both free throws good from the great. Burnett shooting not great, 40% for the game. Irving against White. Outside Durant. Shot clock at 6. Irving for 3. Nice D from Porter. And here are the Bulls now. Here's the great, 18 feet out. It's hauled in by Kevin Durant. Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game. And the basket is good. Got it to go through on the contact, so a free throw coming up. A great opportunity for a three-point play.
And that's the knockout blow right there, guys. Those free throws should put this one away.
Here's Chicago, down by 12. Pass to the great. With the shot. No good, and tight defense there bothered that shot. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg and David Aldridge and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.
Looking good out there. Hey, let me get a picture. Hey, high five. Come on. Good job, guys. Come on. Hey, man. Hey. All right, let me get a picture, though. Yeah. Come on.